My name is Sana Chiyoda. I'm an average 30-year-old stay-at-home mother. In this video, I'd like to share with you a story about how a small disagreement between one of my neighbors and me developed into a scarring experience. My husband, Rikiya, and I currently live in an apartment provided by Rikiya's company. There, Rikiya and I live happily and raise our 3-year-old son. Since the apartment was built recently, the building was very clean and felt luxurious. And because it was company-owned, the rent was dirt cheap too. We had a good relationship with the neighbors as well, and we were confident that we could keep things that way. But alas, we thought wrong. One day, something happened that disrupted the peace we had in our apartment.
Hey, did Miss Kinouchi come by to say hi?
Yeah, she did. The lady that just moved next door, right? She was polite and all when she introduced herself, but I was a bit taken aback when she asked if she could borrow our car when we had just met for the first time.
Huh, interesting. And what'd you say?
Obviously, I said no. Who does she think she is? We just met. It was so weird.
Actually, she's the wife of our new boss that just got assigned here. Her name's Kazuko.
Oh, yeah, you did mention your old boss retired. But wait, the Kazuko that showed up at our door looked like she was still in her 20s. How old is your new boss?
If I remember correctly, I think he was around 42.
I guess he likes them young, huh? Well, that's all's none of my business, but
I need you to get along with her.
why? Wait, why did you even know that Miss Kinouchi came to our door in the first place?
Well, apparently Miss Kinouchi told her husband what happened between you and her. So now my boss basically knows that you two didn't get off to a good start.
What?
And he passive-aggressively pressured me to tell you to do whatever his wife says.
What in the world? That's awful! He took advantage of his superiority over you to benefit himself?
Well, if you put it that way...
Now I really don't think I'll get along with her.
Please, Sana. The new boss, he was scouted by our CEO to revitalize the struggling sales department. He's got quite the presence around the office, so I don't want to stir anything up with him.
Sales department? So you're gonna be working directly under him then?
Yep. So please, just do your best to not get in Miss Kinouchi's way.
Alright, fine. And that's how things began. Obviously, I didn't like the way things were shaping up to be, but I would have hated for my husband's relationship with his new boss to deteriorate because of me. So I swallowed up my frustration and knocked on Miss Kinouchi's door to apologize to her. Then, Miss Kinouchi said, "Oh, great. Could I have the keys to your car then? You know, all this could have been so much easier if you would have said yes earlier." The audacity! I want to credit myself for not decking her on the spot. She annoyed me so much that I turned to my husband and barraged him with complaints. All this could have been so much easier. First of all, I'm older than you, so where's the respect? And for the millionth time, we just met! Just because your husband is powerful doesn't mean you are too, is what I wanted to say to her.
I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. Really. I didn't think she would be so stubborn.
And what I don't get is, why doesn't she use her own car? I'm sure she has one.
Well, apparently they have a daughter who's about to turn 1 soon.
Yeah, I've heard.
And you know how our car has a car seat for toddlers? Apparently that's why they want to use our car.
What? Why don't they just buy their own car seat then?
Their car's an expensive 2-seater, so it won't be able to fit both of them if they attach a car seat to it. And besides, they don't want to taint its look and glamour with a car seat.
Well, they've got a child, don't they? Then they've got to make sacrifices. Are you sure he's actually competent? Right now, he just sounds like a douchebag.
I didn't want to believe it, but turns out our sales are going up. I'm sorry about all this.
No, I'm sorry too. I know you're in a tough spot. It's just, I needed to let off some steam. I did complain to my husband, but I decided to keep things to myself moving forward. But that's when things started getting worse as Miss Kinouchi continued to act in ways that got on my nerves. A few hours after I handed her the keys to her car, Miss Kinouchi and her daughter returned to the apartment. After getting back my keys, I made my way to the car to go shopping, but as it turned out, the car was left in a state I couldn't believe. I could look past the fact that she didn't fill the gas back up to where it was when she borrowed the car. But leaving food and trash in another person's car? That was unforgivable. I could only sigh at the state the car was left in. Things like this kept on happening between us, and every time I grew a little less intolerant of her selfishness. Then, one day, "Hey, let me borrow your car again on Sunday, would you?" "Oh, I'm afraid I can't. We're planning on using the car that day, so I'm sorry." "But you're going somewhere for fun, right?" "Well, yes, it is a Sunday." "My husband is going golfing with his clients, and I'm joining him." "Okay." "What I'm trying to say is, your husband's boss needs a car for work. So why can't you just let us borrow the car for the day?" "But my son has been looking forward to going out on Sunday all week. And besides, if you're only golfing, why not use your own car?"
"We want to take our daughter to my parents' house for the day, so I need the car to have a toddler seat. You could just say yes right now, or I can have my husband step in."
"Fine."
My name is Rikiya Chiyoda. I'm 30 years old and I work as a salesman at a local company. Everything was going well for our family in our humble company-owned apartment until...
My name is Shu Kinouchi, and I'm going to be your new boss. Now that I'm here, I'm going to make sure that all of you pull your own weight, so get ready for change.
Our CEO scouted a new director for our department to increase dwindling sales. He seemed intense, but I was willing to learn from him. But until now, he's not done a whole lot for the growth of the department. And that's because... Boss? Where are you right now?
I'm out meeting clients.
When do you think you'll get back?
I don't know. Why? Is something wrong?
We're supposed to have a meeting soon. It's important, so you were scheduled to be there. But have you forgotten about it?
Oh, my bad. Guess it just slipped my mind. Just take my place, would you?
Understood. Can I ask where the files for it are? Or if you made someone else make the files for you, could you tell me who was in charge of it?
Files? Oh, I've forgotten about that too.
What? Well, how are we supposed to have the meeting then?
Then you better get to work on the files.
What, from now? There's no way it'll be ready in time.
I don't want to hear any excuses. I've been telling you, focus on how you're going to accomplish something, rather than telling yourself that you won't be able to.
But there's just not enough time!
Just do what I say!
And just like that, our new boss just disappears midday and is never present for important meetings. I was worried about our future until the new boss at first, but after a while, sales started going up. He was difficult to deal with, but turns out, he's as competent of a boss anyone could ever ask for, is what I thought, until I heard this from Sasaki, my colleague.
Hey, what do you think of the new boss?
He's difficult for sure, but it seems like he gets things done.
But it's weird.
Weird?
Did you see the sales report? The guys in our department that had the lowest numbers, they're the ones that have been making the most sales under the new boss. And they're all buttering the new boss up now.
I'm sure the boss is picking favorites and giving them the best clients. He's the kind of guy that surrounds himself with yes men.
That still doesn't explain how steep of a growth those guys have made. And we don't even know what boss is up to during the day.
Maybe you're right. Everything he was saying made sense. Things did start looking up for our department after the new boss arrived, but I really didn't understand why. What I did during the day didn't change at all, on the other hand. Sales numbers have neither gone up or down, but after the boss's arrival, the bottom feeders of our department started to excel, almost unnaturally. As Sasaki said, it was weird. But it was around the time that I started having doubts about the new boss that trouble emerged again between my wife and the boss's wife. After our car was taken by the boss's wife, it was yet again returned in an unbelievable state. This time, I decided to bring it up with my boss directly. You and your wife used our car today, right?
Yeah, we did. As always, thanks. It's been a massive help.
That's all fine, but do you care to explain the large scratch you've left on our car?
A scratch? I didn't see anything like that.
Yeah, when you borrowed it, you didn't, because there was none until today. The scratch only appeared when you two came back with the car.
So what you're trying to say is that either my wife or I scratched your car while driving?
Well, yes. That's what happened, isn't it? It's fine that you scratched it, but you should have told me about it.
I really don't know what you're talking about. Maybe another car scratched yours in the parking lot while we were away.
That's not likely. Our car has a dash cam attached to it, and I didn't see anything like that happen in the footage, but I did see you try to make a very tight turn, so I think that might be it.
I really can't recall.
Oh, come on. I'm willing to forgive you if you admit what happened, so don't try and hide what happened to me. I'm not even going to ask you to pay for everything. But please, would you chip in half of what's going to take to fix the car?
Wait, hold on! I don't mean to doubt you, but where's the evidence? Your dash cam didn't capture the exact moment I allegedly scratched the car, right?
Well, no. It didn't have a good angle.
Then we can't be held liable for this. Maybe you're the one that scratched the car, and you just don't know about it. Or maybe you knew about it and are trying to scam us.
Are you kidding me? Do you hear what you're saying?
Right back at you. You better watch your tone, son. I know you're a bit aggravated right now because you scratched your car, so I'll let you off the hook for now. But if you keep this up, you'll be in for some serious trouble. So I'd advise you choose your words carefully from now on.
Even though my husband stood up to his boss directly, it was to no avail. This was the final straw for both my husband and I. So we decided to take matters into our own hands. I didn't want it to have to come to this, but they left us no choice. For now, let's just say that my husband is no ordinary salesman. Anyway, a few weeks after my husband's confrontation, I got a text from a furious Kazuko.
What's going on? I don't understand what's happening. Why was my husband fired?
My husband got word through to the CEO and told him about how you've been treating us.
What? He's just an average worker. How do you get a chance to talk to the CEO?
Isn't it obvious? My husband is the son of the CEO.
What?
Well, technically, I'm the CEO's daughter and my husband is his son-in-law.
That's not what I'm asking. How come my husband didn't know about that?
Of course he didn't. My father's making my husband work as a normal salesman for a while. We've even kept it a secret to those close to us, and the only people that know are a few higher-ups. We only invited family members to our wedding, so no one at the office knows about it either.
You two are awful! Using your personal ties to your advantage? That's unfair!
If you were just a lousy neighbor, your husband wouldn't have been fired. There are other reasons. My husband was suspicious of Director Kinochi, so after the incident with the car, he decided to find out what exactly was going on with the new boss. It didn't take long for things to start clearing themselves up. First of all, sales numbers weren't really going up. Were they, Miss Kinochi? The only way your husband could get clients was by bribing them and treating them to expensive meals and parties.
But the numbers went up, right? Then I don't see any problems with that.
Where do you think the money used for the bribing is coming from? Of course he was filing them as expenses. After he came to the sales department, their spending increased exponentially. This obviously raised some eyebrows. I'll state the obvious, but it doesn't matter how much you earn. If more money is going out as expenses, then it's a net loss.
But that doesn't mean he should be fired!
Well, the real problem was what kind of things your husband was treating his clients to. In the expenses he filed, there was a receipt for an unusually expensive meal. So when they contacted the restaurant, it didn't even exist.
So what?
Apparently, some companies file fake receipts of restaurants and services that don't even exist.
Some companies?
Strip clubs, to be exact. Obviously, you can't file a receipt for a strip club as part of the department's expenses, so...
Wait, does that mean...
I have no idea if he went there personally or with actual clients, but... That's right. The director was going to strip clubs and filing the money used there as expensive. Needless to say, that was not allowed. Director Kinochi was spending a large sum of money to acquire new clients and gave the credit to his favorite subordinates. My husband brought this up, and the truth started unraveling itself even further. Apparently, he's been using tactics to boost sales numbers like this from before he was with my father's company. So, Director Kinochi was obviously fired. But to add insult to injury, Director Kinochi was sued by the company and was forced to pay them damages. And so peace returned to our lives with the Kinochi family being kicked out from our apartment.